Hello.
Slavery and support the City of Toronto's ongoing efforts to confront items. So today's session is being recorded. The recording will be made available afterwards. So don't worry if you miss anything, you'll be able to go back and review it later. Resources. So all materials and resources from this meeting, including the slides and reference guides, will also be shared after the session. For the exercises, we'll set aside some time in between each topic for you to ask questions and follow along. I know you're all muted right now, but I'll give you the chance to raise your hand and unmute you. And questions, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature instead of the chat. It's just easier for us to track and respond to questions this way. We'll also have some time at the end of the session for questions. And lastly, feedback. We'll ask you to, as always, fill out a short feedback survey at the end. Your input really helps us evaluate and improve future sessions. And yeah, how we're going to do this is I'm going to provide a little bit of overview and context. For those of you who were here last week, the first 15, 20 minutes might be very similar. For those who weren't here last week, we just want to provide some context. So digital accessibility, what is digital accessibility? So it's the practice of designing digital content and environments so that people of all abilities can access and use them equally. When we say digital content, we're talking about things like websites, apps, multimedia like videos, and documents, which is why we're here today. Basically anything people interact with in a digital space. Digital accessibility ensures that everyone, including people who use assistive technologies like screen readers or voice commands, can access the same information and perform the same tasks as everyone else. So the way I like to think about it is, imagine a person who uses a wheelchair trying to enter a building. If there's only a staircase available, it's a barrier for them. But if the building has a ramp or an elevator, they can access it independently. In the digital world, accessibility works the same way. Assistive technologies like screen readers are the wheelchairs of the digital space, and accessible design is the ramp that makes sure everyone can get in and use the same information and services. Ultimately, digital accessibility is about removing barriers through thoughtful design choices so that no one is excluded from participating in digital environments. So why does digital accessibility matter? So two key reasons, and that's inclusivity and compliance. So according to a StatsCan survey on disability conducted in 2022, approximately 27% of Canadians aged 15 and older, which is about 8 million people at the time, report having at least one disability. Now, disabilities can vary widely in type. So things that affect digital accessibility are things like people with low vision, mobility, pain, cognitive disabilities. Disabilities can vary in severity. It could be mild to incredibly severe. And they also vary in things like, disabilities can be something that you're born with and have for the rest of your life. You can age into disability. So as you get older, you tend to get more disabilities. And it could also be temporary. So think of something like an injury. So having said that, if we don't make our digital content accessible, we risk excluding about 1 in 4 people, which is a significant portion of the population. And as a municipal government, as the City of Toronto, that means potentially excluding residents from essential information, services, and opportunities to participate in civic life. Another key reason why digital accessibility is important is compliance. Digital accessibility isn't just a best practice for inclusion, it's the law. As many of you in here are familiar with, the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, also known as AODA, sets the legal framework for accessibility in Ontario. With regards to digital accessibility, AODA requires all public-facing digital content, so anything posted online for public consumption, to meet the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, also known as WCAG. WCAG are a set of internationally recognized standards that define how to make digital content accessible for people with disabilities. So AODA establishes accessibility as a legal requirement for industries, and WCAG outlines the standards that the digital content must meet to be considered accessible. It's also a good reminder that failing to comply can lead to significant fines, up to $100,000 per day for organizations and $50,000 per day for individuals who approve inaccessible content. I'd also like to say that the City of Toronto has its own digital accessibility standard, which of course align with AODA, but they do go a step further in some spots. Specifically, it requires internal digital content, so anything posted on the internet, to be accessible as well. So just at a high level, what makes a document accessible? Now that we've talked a little bit about digital accessibility, and now we're going to kind of focus in on documents specifically with regards to digital content. So there are 5 key elements that make a document accessible: tagging, structure, metadata, alt text, and design and formatting. So tagging. Think of tagging as labeling every part of your document. So from text elements like headings, paragraphs, lists, to non-text elements like images and charts and graphs. Tags help assistive technologies understand the type and purpose of each element. Structure. Structure is about organizing your content in a logical reading order so that it flows naturally. Even if all the elements are tagged, they need to be in the right sequence so users can understand and navigate the content. Metadata. Metadata is the background information of the document. So details like title, author, keywords, the language that it's set in, they all help assistive technologies and search engines identify and interpret the document correctly. Alt text. Alt text or alternative text is a short description of an image or other visual elements in a document. It ensures users who can't see the images still understand the information it conveys through the use of assistive technologies. So good alt text focuses on meaning and purpose and not necessarily every visual detail. And design and formatting. Design and formatting choices affect readability and comprehension. So using good color contrast, readable fonts, consistent spacing, clear and consistent styles make content easier for everyone to read and understand. So one way to think about these 5 elements is how they interact with assistive technologies like screen readers. Altogether, they ensure that these tools can interpret and convey information accurately, so users with disabilities can navigate and understand the content just as effectively as anyone else. So before we move on to PDFs, I want to get into a little bit about the concept of accessibility by design. So PDFs are typically the output document, like output format of the document that we end up posting on the web. But they typically start out in other formats. So commonly Word, PowerPoint, Excel, or InDesign. These are what we call source files. So the concept of accessibility by design means building accessibility features directly into those source files. So setting up your accessibility in the previous formats, rather than fixing issues later when it's a PDF, which is what we'll be doing today. As you'll see, once a Word document is converted to PDF, it will still require additional work to be fully AODA compliant. But if the source file is created with accessibility in mind, like proper tagging, structure, headings, alternative text, it minimizes the work later and makes the final PDF easier to bring into compliance. And just a reminder that last week we actually hosted a workshop on how to make documents accessible in Microsoft Word. I see a lot of familiar names and faces here. So, but for those who didn't attend, I highly recommend going back and watching it, as it will make just making your PDFs easier to bring into compliance. Okay, PDFs, what we're all here for. PDFs are one of the most common file types we share and often the final output used for posting documents on the web, but they're also one of the hardest formats to make accessible. So for anyone who's been web editor training, I'll say that if you can avoid PDFs, do it. Use the city's web templates instead. They're already designed by the digital accessibility team to meet accessibility standards. That being said, though, we understand that's not realistic, and there are times when PDFs are still needed. And in those cases, they are the preferred format for sharing documents online for several reasons. So PDFs are widely compatible. They open easily in most browsers and devices. This is, in contrast to something like a Word document or an Excel file or a Google Doc, where users may need a license or an account to access those. PDFs, they can open in most devices and browsers. PDFs also preserve structure, tagging, and content, which helps maintain accessibility features across platforms and also make it hard for PDFs to be edited. So once you've decided you're going to create a PDF, you're going to post it online, the next question is it accessible? How do you know if a PDF is truly AODA compliant? And for that, the City of Toronto recommends using the PDF Accessibility Checker, PAC. I've included a download link in the chat, to check for PDF compliance. So PAC is a free Windows-only accessibility testing tool designed specifically for PDFs, and it evaluates PDFs against two key standards: WCAG, which I've mentioned earlier, that defines how to make digital content accessible, and PDF UA. So PDF UA is similar to WCAG in that it's an internationally recognized set of standards that define how to make PDFs accessible. So think of PDF UA as WCAG, but specifically for PDFs. And this is why actually we recommend you use PAC, because as opposed to, let's say, the Adobe Accessibility Check or the built-in Microsoft Word Accessibility Check, because they can specifically test and evaluate for these standards, which makes it important to determining whether a PDF is AODA compliant or not. So I'll get into PAC in a little bit, but for those who are wondering or saying that the standards aren't clear, when it comes to PDF compliance, a PDF must pass the PDF UA and WCAG checks in PAC to be considered AODA compliant. So let me just stop sharing my screen for a bit and give you a little demo of kind of what PAC looks like. So we just... So this is the PAC download website. We advise that you do not download the 2026 beta version. You download the 2024 version. And it should look a little something like this. Sorry, I don't have full control. Okay. Let me just open it up. So, yep, pretty straightforward. Looks a little something like this. What you do is then you open a document. It only takes PDFs, so you can drag and drop it, or you can open it here. And let me show you what a fully accessible document should look like. So this is what you're looking for. So this PDF UA and WCAG tabs, you got to make sure that that has check marks in it, and that check marks in all of these little elements. So if you run a PDF through here and you see the checks here, you can feel confident that the PDF is fully AODA compliant. You can go ahead and post it on the web. Let me show you what a non-accessible document looks like. So you run a test on the PDF and you see a few X's here. That means that it has failed both these tests and that PDF is not accessible and should not be posted online. Another good thing about PAC 2 as well is that you can actually go to the results in detail. And as you see here, it has the 3 tabs that it has here. And then you can collapse and expand and drill down to the specific errors. So in this particular document that we have being tested, this image in the document does not have alternative text. So it identifies the error as well as the location. And just as another tip, actually, I know we'll be getting into how to remediate a PDF, but what I do is I like to click this link over here. And what it will do is take you to a Google search page for that accessibility error. And in this search page, what I advise people to do is go to this website, tag PDF, or you can check out any one of these videos by the accessibility guy, really excellent resources. But let me just show you tag PDF. So it takes that particular error, and what it does is it gives you a brief description of the error. It gives you suggestions on how to fix that error, and most usefully, it gives you a YouTube video, step-by-step instructions of how to fix that specific error. So that's kind of the basics of PAC and how to use it. I will say also that I know passing PDF UA and WCAG might seem like a lot, but PDF UA checks and WCAG checks are 95% identical. Like if there's a error in PDF UA here, there's probably a similar error in WCAG. So let me just show you. So this is missing alt text. And similarly here, it's missing alt text. The one big difference between WCAG and PDF UA when it comes to PAC is color contrast. So PDF UA won't be able to capture color contrast errors, but WCAG will. So all that to say is if you can fix the PDF UA errors, you'll most likely fix most of the WCAG errors minus the color contrast error. Okay, and then before we hand it over to my colleague Ramiz, I just want to show you a few tools that we'll be using throughout today's exercises in Adobe Acrobat that I just want to make you aware of. So if you open up your sample document, there are some sections in the Tools tab over here. If you click All Tools, you want to look for these two tools, Prepare for Accessibility and Use Print Production, as we'll be referencing it throughout the workshop. If you can't see them, you might need to go down here to the bottom and click View More. It might be hidden here somewhere. You can just drag and drop it and move it up if it's easier for you. Another area is the navigation panel. So this is the panel where you can toggle through the pages, use the zoom, etc. But most importantly for these exercises, they have these navigation panels. If you don't see them here, just right click and you can see what's in view and what's not in view. The three panels I want to bring to your attention are the content panel. So this shows you all the content and elements in the document. The reading order panel. So this shows you the order in which an assistive technology will be reading the elements of the document. And lastly, the accessibility tags. And this just are basically all the tags of each element. So, I will share the PDF again. So before I hand off to my colleague Ramiz, yeah, just have your sample documents out. And how we'll do this is after every section, we'll give you a minute or so to raise your hand, ask questions, do the exercise. And I really encourage people to put their questions in the Q&A, even as Ramiz is going through this, and I'll do my best to kind of moderate and answer the questions. Okay, Ramiz, if you want to go ahead.
Thank you so much, Gerald. That's wonderful. So let me just start sharing my screen. Right, hope you all can see my screen. Can you confirm, Gerald?
Yep, I can see your screen.
Okay, all right. So we understand that PDF remediation can feel complex, but our goal is to show you how to tackle the most common and easier fixes, things that make a big accessibility impact without needing advanced tool. So let's get started step by step. So first is the setting the document metadata. So what is document metadata? So metadata gives your PDF a digital identity. It's what screen readers use to pronounce the document title and what shows up in search results. So without it, assistive technologies might just read out a file name like final underscore v3.pdf, which isn't meaningful to users. By adding the proper title, author, subject, and keywords, we ensure users immediately know what the document is and improve both accessibility and organization. So next is setting document language. So setting the correct document language tells screen readers how to pronounce words accurately. If this step is missed, English or French words can sound completely different, especially in bilingual documents. This small fix ensures the content is read smoothly and naturally for users. So we'll go to the sample document and do these two editions right now. So here is my sample document. So I believe you all have the sample documents at hand with you. So first is to go to this tab where you can set your metadata. So to do that, you have to go to menu tab. Inside the menu, you go to document properties. And once you click on the document properties, so here is the document properties window that pops up. So if you can see, there is no title, author, subject, and keywords. So our initial first step is to add this information. So to do that, I already have some pre-written information here. So just to save some time, so I'll just try to copy and paste for now. Um, so adding an appropriate title like accessible document practice and a subject, uh, document accessibility workshop. For other, you can put as City of Toronto or the name of the person who has authored the document and some keywords. And now the description has been set here. So you can do OK so that this gets saved. So again, you can go ahead and then check it out. So now you have the title here, but you should press do Control S to save this description that is added. So next is to add your language to the document. So to add your language, you go to Advanced tab here, and then as you come down, if you look at the Reading Options tab here, you see the current language is Dutch, which is not the language of this document. So you just have to go ahead and then change it to English. Okay. And then there is one other tab called Initial View tab. Once you make this change, go to Initial View tab, and in the Windows option, you have this option called Show. And here at times there might be a file name. So what happens if you put file name? So here it shows as the actual file name instead of the document title. So you should always try to keep it as document title here, and then do OK, and then save the document. So now if you go back and check the properties, so it gets added here. Okay, so this is the first thing that you have to do for any PDF document. Make sure you have all the description, like mainly the title. If there is no title, it's an accessibility error in itself, and it's important that you have all other aspects like all the subject and keywords as well. So this is the first step. Add the description, and then go to advanced and make sure the leading language is English. And then next is to go to initial view tab, and then make sure it shows document title as your main heading, and then do OK and then do Control S. So this is the preliminary step for adding metadata. So now we can give you like a minute or so to do these changes onto this metadata in your sample document. If anybody wants to ask any questions or clarifications, I can help you. Somebody said they can't add or change any information on the document properties. Um, I don't think so. It should be the case because to do the for any document, it should be allowed. Like you have to go here. document properties, and then the description. I have to add the information here. And importantly, you should have the Acrobat Pro to do the changes. So if everyone can do it, just give us a thumbs up or let us know that you made the changes so that we can go to the next topic if you have already done this. And I can add this text as well for easy usage. Yes, I'm using an Acrobat Pro on the desktop. For sure, you might need to have Acrobat Pro to do this remediation on the document. Okay. Yeah, so mainly for this exercise, like to do this changes or remediation of the document, you must have an Acrobat Pro version so that it will becomes easier for you to do it by yourself. If there is no Acrobat Pro, then it might be difficult. Yes, the city provides license for Acrobat Pro. I think you have to request through your manager, I believe. Okay. So did everyone who has the Acrobat Pro were able to do the changes? Uh, sure. In initial view tab, you have to set the document title. In the initial view tab, there is only one change. You go to this last in the Windows options window. You go to here show. On here, you select document title. At times, there will be like file name will be selected. So what happens if you put file name? So the if the file name shows up in the main tab. So which we should avoid. And there is also a shortcut to open the properties window. Just have to press Control D, and then it opens up the document properties tab. And document properties, initial view, and then show document title in the header, and then do OK. And then Control S to save the changes that you did right now. Okay, great. So if there are no more questions, I can move to the next topic. Can I get some reactions? Maybe thumbs up if you guys have done the changes. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, let's go to our next topic. So next is embed fonts. So font embedding ensures that the document text looks and reads the same on every computer. If fonts aren't embedded, Acrobat might substitute them, causing letters to shift or display incorrectly. It can even make the text unreadable to screen readers. Embedding fonts preserves both the layout and accessibility of your content. So it's always displayed as intended. So we'll check this embed fonts in our sample document right now. So to do font embedding, so in all tools, there is one tool called Use Print Production. Okay, so it might be just under Prepare for Accessibility. So you click on Use Print Production and then go to this option called Pre-Flight. You click on Pre-Flight and then a pop-up opens like this. So here in this wrench icon, you see this thing called Embed Fonts, or you can also search it here like embed fonts, and then it should pop up like this. So what you can do is that here you have this option called embed missing fonts, and then you have to click on this button called fix. So once you click fix on it, it asks you to save the document with embedded fonts. So maybe you can create a new version here so that it preserves your older version. So let me just make it 2.1 for now, and then try to save this. So now all our fonts are embedded in the document, and we also have a new version of the document as well. So this is the simple step that you can do to make sure your fonts are embedded in the document. Um, okay, so that's one aspect. So I can again wait for like maybe 30 seconds or a minute for you to do this activity. So I'll repeat it again. So to do font embedding, you have to go to use print production and then go to pre-flight. And in the pre-flight, find this option called embed missing fonts. By searching inside the search window, you first have to click on this wrench icon here and then search field, embed missing fonts. Just click on it and then just click fix.
Wait,
Simple.
Ramiz, can you just go to the top drop down and make people aware of that because it might not necessarily be set to essential? Sorry, go back to pre-flight.
Okay. Okay.
Do you see the drop down at the very top
Right.
that's at essentials?
Yeah.
So they just want to make people aware of that.
Sure. So inside the drop down, at times you might have other options here. Just go to these essentials and then click on the wrench icon and then search for embed missing fonts. Okay, and then just select this option and then do fix. It should pop up a new window for you to save the font embedding. Okay. Hope you guys did the change. Okay, you can search Vitak. You can actually search for the font embedding option. You just add in the search option embed reflight, and then here you just have to add embed, and then you should have all this option pop up to you. You should add in the search field here. Okay. I hope Vitak you got the answer. You might have to select this one. I see that you selected this option. Maybe you select this branch icon here. You have this branch icon here where my mouse is pointing to. Essentials, and then go to this branch icon. Okay. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys were able to figure it out? Hello? Okay, great. Sure, I understand. At times if you haven't used the pre-flight option before, it might take some time to load, I believe. Okay. So I believe you understood how to do this action. Maybe later we'll have this session also recorded, so you can also review it back just to save time for of every one of us here. Okay. So I'll move to the next topic now if you have no questions. So next is adding a document root tag. So the document root tag is the foundation of an accessible PDF. It's a starting point for the tag tree that defines structure. Without it, screen readers can't interpret the reading order or understand how elements relate to each other. Think of it like the top level folder that organizes everything below it. If the root tag is missing, we can't we can add it manually to the tags panel to ensure a proper structure and hierarchy. So let's go back to our document. So as Gerald showed you before, so you have the three main options that you look for inside this panel is the first one is the content panel, and second one is the reading order, which we'll come to in a bit, and this is the tag tree. So tags are like you add content to this tag, so that defines what it should read out. For example, P stands for paragraph. So when the screener touches this P tag, it reads as paragraph PDF accessibility workshop in accessible sample. But actually this should be a heading, but which was add as paragraph, which we'll remove it in a bit. So for our exercise right now, so we want to have the main tag tree as a document tag, so that it sets the document as the under the document has the main root tag. So you should always have a document as the main root tag. So there are two ways how you can do this. So first one is that you can just double click on this sec tag. So we want to change the tag to document tag. Instead of sec, we have to change it to document tag, or you can create a new tag and move this sec under this tag tree. So, okay, so let's add a new tag maybe. So let's create a new tag called document tag, and then do okay. And then now you click on this and then drag it and drop it under the main document tab. So now we have the main one root tag as document tag, and all other tags are under this document tag. So this is how you have to make the changes. So generally, when you convert a PDF from a Word using an Acrobat plugin, it should automatically show the document panel. Document has a root tag. If not, you can do this change by yourself. So this is how you do the change. If not, there is one other way is that you can actually change this sect to a document tag. So how you do that? You click on the sec tag, just double click, and then you do properties, and then you select the document under this. You're just changing the tag type to document, and then press OK. So now you already have a document tag here. So since you already have a document tag, you can bring it outside, and then maybe delete the empty tag here. So now you have the main root tag as document, and you have all the tags inside this main root tag. Okay, that's a simple change. You can do this right now. I can take some questions if you have any, or any clarifications, or if you want me to show it again, I can do that. All right, all righty. I'll do that again. Okay. So before this tag was sec tag. Okay, so I'll just change it to the previous tag. Okay, so this is how it looks like in your sample. Okay, so if you pop up this arrow, so you'll have all the tags under this main root tag. So our idea is to have this main root tag as a document tag. So what you want to do is that since it is sec tag, you want to change it to document tag. So how you do that? You right click on it, or double click on this particular tag. Just double click, and then you have this window open up, right? You have a lot of options. You can create a new tag, you can auto tag the document, cut, delete tag, and all these options. So out of these options, go to this last option called properties. Okay. And then once you click on properties, so your new window opens up. So this is the object properties. So what it says is it says the properties of this particular tag, and in the type it says section. So in the section, you just press the down arrow and then select the document as document tag. So now we are changing this tag to document. That's it. You just click on it to document and then just close it. So now we have the main root tag as document. So this is one way to do this, or you can just create a double click on it, or you can create a new tag called document, and then you can drag and drop the sec under this tag. Okay, so for now, since we already did with first way, we don't need to do it again. Okay, so this is a simple way how you can change the tag type, or make main tag as the root tag. Okay, were you guys able to do this? Amazing. Uh, Okay. All right. So any other questions on the root tag, or you guys are okay with this? We can move to the next step. All right, I'll go to the next topic now. So next is reading order. So the reading order determines how the content flows for users relying on access to technology. If it's incorrect, the user might hear the footer before the main title or the sidebar in the middle of a paragraph. So we'll use the reading order tool to visually check and adjust the order so the content flows top to bottom, left to right, just like it should for sighted users. So let's go to our document and, check this reading order. So this is the main tag tree, and you see this arrow, which is the reading order, like how the content flows. So when you click on this arrow, so you have the content panel here, and on the main document you can see the numbering, like which shows the how the content floats in the document. So you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and you see after 3 it shows 5. So what does it means is the screen reader jumps from language not identified, which is represented by 3, to 4 decorative elements like below, and then it comes back to fonts not embedded later on. So we have to change this reading order to have a sequence of flow. So it's pretty simple. So once you have this reading order option selected and you have this flow here, you just have to drag and drop. It's That's how you have to do this changes. So what we have to do, we have to drag this whatever is written as 4 to the top of the sequence. So we can find this here. Okay, fonts are not embedded is 5. So which is says 5, which should be 4. So we just have to click it, drag it, and drop it in the top. So now if you can look in this window, so it just changed to 4 now. From 5 it changed to 4. In the same way, you can also make the other change. So right now this figure it says as 12. Uh, okay, which is a path which will artifact, but let's for this example, let's do the change as well. Okay, so now we have a sequence 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have an empty tag here, which is 10. So which is here, which will kind of delete it later on. But right now, let's move it right now. And then we have this one as 12. So let's move the figure. Let's move the image to the top. Okay, so we have the image and then the figure tag. So now we have a sequence of the numbering. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 and 12. So the reason why we have to do the reading order correction first is that, at times what happens if you alter the reading order, the tag tree structure might also get altered. So that's why it's important that you do the reading order first, and then you can go and fix any sort of changes in the tag tree later on. Okay, so that's how you do the reading order fixes. It's pretty straightforward. Now we can go to the page two. Uh, Page two, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. Well, and then here, if you see, it's all sequence, and we have one here, which is 19 and 18, which should be like 18 and 19, which is again in the last here. So this should be read first. So we'll just drag and drop it to the top. So we have everything in order now. Okay, so that's all we have to do for the reading order changes. Now you can go ahead into your document and then make these reading order changes right now. I'll just do Control S to save the changes that I did right now. Okay, I see some comments. That's okay. That's okay. So you said like you have five items. That should be okay. So here you are mentioning that you have 5 items. Make sure that even though you have 5 items that are in order or in sequence. So I see 1 and 2. Okay. Yeah, that's right. As long as the reading order is correct, then that's fine. Yeah, it matters as well. So accessibility tags will come and do the changes later on. So we should have sequence for both the reading order and also for the accessibility tags as well.
Hey, Ramiz, we have a question or we have a hand up from Mariella, so I'm just going to unmute her.
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
Give me a second. Okay, Maria, I think you should be good to speak.
Thanks, Gerald. On the second page, Ramis, there
Hmm.
is a table, and I noticed that the sequence of numbers go. Can you please show on your screen second page?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
noticed that the sequence of numbers goes from 1 to 4, and then the table changes
Mm,
the sequence and it goes straight to 14. Does this always happens when we have
right.
tables? And if so, does that, the number of rows determines this, the sequence of tags? Be-
Not the sequence of tags, but the sequence of the reading order.
Or the reading order, because it
Yes.
jumps from 1 to 14. So, but I don't
Right.
see the table has it goes 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know what it is. So
Right. So if you see here, the 5 got hidden under the 11 here. If you
oh,
see,
I see.
if I zoom it a little bit more, you can see the 5 here, right? So
I
the
see.
11 is the line of the table, which will be artifacted, which the screen reader will just avoid reading. The main thing which you have to see is this number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not zoomed out, it may not show up, but if you just zoom out, you can actually see this one.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
No problem.
Um,
I see
Ramesh,
one more
before we
hand.
move on, yeah, we have one more hand up,
Sure,
and it's
sure,
Michael. I'm just gonna unmute him.
sure.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Michael, go ahead. Can you unmute yourself?
Thanks, gents. Yeah, just a question going back to the chat regarding the version of Adobe. I understand that as
Mm,
long as the reading structure is in order, it's
mm,
fine. However, if you needed to change, and I put a picture in the chat, if you needed to change the title into a heading, which makes sense,
right,
you would need to clear the page structure. And what I found is when you do that and restructure the page in order, you run into errors on pack saying
right,
that things are tagged incorrectly then,
right,
even though your text paragraph is tagged as a text paragraph. So
right.
I just go back to my previous question. Is this older version that you seem to be on, Ramiz,
Mm.
more, I guess, fluent for remediating a document?
Uh, no, I think even if it's older or newer version, it should act in a similar fashion. It shouldn't matter. If for any tag, if it is tagged properly, it should always be correct for any version. So
Not
we can
always the case, but we'll see how this goes.
sure. For the headings which you mentioned, I'll talk more about it in the next slide actually. So I'm going to change the heading a paragraph to a heading tag, and then we'll see the structure. And we'll also run this through a pack and then see how it works as well. Okay, did I answer your question?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So everyone has got an idea to do the reading order correction. All right. I'll go to the next topic now. So next is headings. So headings organize content and make navigation possible for users relying on screen readers. So when properly tagged, headings let users jump through sections, just like sighted users scan page titles visually. If headings aren't tagged correctly, the entire document becomes one long, unstructured block of text. We'll check for headings, H1, H2, and so on, and fix them using the reading order or touch-up reading order tool. So let's go to our document now. So this is the reading order panel. So let's close the reading order panel now. So before we check the reading order, there is also one other option which Gerald showed you before called prepare for accessibility tag. So generally we have this opened up first instance and then do the check for accessibility to check for issues, right? So we might have fixed one issue here, which is the title issue in the beginning of the exercise, and we have few more errors here. So this for the accessibility, and there is also one more tool which Gerald showed you, the pack checker. So when you have the pack version opened up, So this is the folder that you get into, and then if you open the folder, and you'll have the pack show up as pac.exe file, which is the actual tool that you check for any of the pack errors. So now for this exercise, let's just run this in the pack and then see what errors it shows up. And then as we move along, we'll try to again recheck the document for fixes. Okay, so now we have the pack opened up, and then let's open this sample document and then see and then check for. So we have the 2.1 version. So we have the few errors. So to check the errors, if you click on in detail, so it points you where the errors are. So here it says there is struct element has the root error, has the root tag. Now maybe we haven't saved our document, but we did the change and it has some content is in admissible location. We'll do all these changes right now and then try to fix these errors. Okay, so for now let's fix the headings inside this document. To do this again, we have to go back to our tags panel. So if you go to our tags panel, so we know that what is associated for each content. So when you click on the first item here, which is tagged as P, but if you look at this particular text here, it should have been tagged as a heading level 1, but it was tagged as paragraph for some reason. So when we know that this is the error, so we have to just go and then change this tag to heading. So to do that, so we just have to double click on it, and then we have to again go to properties. So in the properties, you have this window opened up, and here you go ahead and then set it to heading level 1. Okay, and then now it changes to heading level 1, and then close it. And then let's do Control S so that it saves all the changes that we did. And as we go, we also see this text called heading 2 not added here, which is a sample text. So what we can do is that if you have to select this text and you have to find the tag, just select some part of the text here and then click on these 3 dots. Just click, and then you go down and then just click on find tag from selection. So now what happens if you do this search, it will actually search for the tag in this document. If there is a long document, you'll have many tags here. For example, if you're going to like 100 page document and if you have to search for a particular tag, this is the option that helps you to particularly point that particular tag. So simple, I'll just show it again. So select some part of the text here, like for example, heading, some part, and then click on the 3 dots here, and then click on find tag from selection. When you click on it, it searches here. So now if you look at this one as well, it shows it is tagged as paragraph. So let's change this to heading level 2. So properties, and then paragraph. So it was tagged as paragraph. So I should tag it to heading level 2. Okay, so done, close. That's it, simple. So this one we changed, and then in the similar way, we can also do the changes for the other tags as well. If you go to page 2, like if you can also check for this sample, select a little bit, and then go for properties. First we have to do finding the tag where it is located. Okay, now this is here. You can again do this tag, and you also have a shortcut. Like for example, you have this tag, right? You just have to click on it once, and then it edits the tag. So here itself, you can just delete the P, and you know that H2 means the tag, and then just type H2 and then click enter, and then it changes the tag to H2. So this is one other way how you can do this quickly as well, instead of opening up the properties tab to select the option. Okay. And you can also do bulk edit as well. For example, you know this sample table and the sample lists are H2. So let's find this tags here. So let's select that and then find tag from selection. So we have this one, and I know this one is the sample list. So these two are tagged as text. So what you can do, you can just select this and then hold Control and then select this, just like how we select options in the Word document, right? So now we selected both the tags. So we can double click on one of the item and then properties. And then now if you go and do H2, heading to heading level 2 here, so you can do bulk edit, like if you do heading level 2, so both the tags got changed, right? So this is the way how you can make edits to your tags inside your tags tag tree. Okay, pretty simple and straightforward. It's just that you just have to hold, click on it and then properties, or you can manually edit inside the tag tree as well. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is how you make the heading level changes inside your tag structure. So I'll just pause for a minute. I'll try to field some questions, or I'll answer your clarifications if you have any. Okay. Uh, I'll go from the last. Can you clarify when H1 and H2 should be used? Is H1 the Yeah, so H1 is the main heading level one of the document. So H2 should be its so for example, if you have H3 written here and if you have this H1, so then it will create an error. So after H1, it should always follow along with H2 and not H3. So we have your H1 here, and then next should be H2. So heading level one for any document, there should be one heading level one for sure. Otherwise, it will create an error. So let's change this to heading level 3, maybe, and then do Control S. So this might create a accessibility error. So let's check it inside this accessibility checker first. Uh, so if you see when I did the search, it showed an heading issue here. So when I click on it, so it says appropriate nesting failed. So it points to this heading level, right? So how to check for it is, so you double click on it, you show in tags panel, and you see the error is mainly you don't have the sequence of errors now. So you have H1 and H3. So that's why there is a heading error here. So how to change that? You should always have a sequence of headings. So that's the error. Just do H1 to H2 and then do Control S. So now again you go back and then click, double click on it and then say check again. So now you see this is passed. So that's the reason why you should always have a sequence of the headings. It causes an accessibility issue.
For
Okay.
me is,
Yeah.
can you show an alternate way to find the content in the tags panel? Some people are saying that there's no ellipses on the accessibility checker when
Oh,
they're
okay.
trying to find the particular element in the accessibility tags panel.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can do that. So let me just create the error again. So let me change to H3. Okay. Let's do Control S. Let's check the accessibility again. Okay, now we have the error here, right? So when you click on this element one, double click on this. So there is double click on the in the accessibility checker, you should double click on the element one or the error element, and then you should select this option called show in tags panel. Okay. So once you click on this tags panel, so it will exactly point out the tag but for that particular element. So let's click on show in tags panel. So it points to me the place where I have to fix the problem. Okay. And now I know the point. So then I can just change this H3 to H2. Okay. So I can go back again and then do it again. So as I go to the heading and then click on element one and then double click and then show in tags panel, and then it points to the location of the error. So I'll just click on it once. I'll just edit it. I'll change to H1 to H2. Now again, I will go back to the accessibility checker. I will double click on the element one. So now I don't want to go to the tags panel, but I want to check the error if it's still there. Okay, I'll do check again. So now when I checked again, so it said it is passed now. Okay, and then I will try to save the changes that I did by pressing Control S. Okay, was I clear now? Uh, did everyone understood the changes that I did right now? Any questions or clarification? Or can I get a thumbs up to go to the next topic? Okay, alrighty. So let's go to our next topic now. So next topic is bookmarks. So Oh, just a moment. Um, let me open this up. Okay, next topic is bookmarks. So bookmarks give users a quick and accessible way to navigate long documents. So they work like a clickable table of contents and are especially helpful for users with mobility impairments or those using assistive technology. If your document was exported properly from Word, these bookmarks may already exist, but we can easily add or adjust them manually. We'll look at how to generate bookmarks from headings and verify that each one matches the document flow. So let's go back to our document again. So the bookmarks is this one. You have these page icons here. When you click on this on top of the pages, so this is the bookmarks panel. So generally, when you export a document from Word to PDF, if it already has an existing heading styles like heading level 1, heading 2, heading 3 is already set, when you export it, so the bookmarks will automatically get extracted. But if not, we can actually create this manually by just selecting this particular text. For example, if you already know this is heading level 1 and you want to create a bookmark, just select this text and then just click on this plus icon. So as soon as you click on the press icon, so you have a bookmark selected. In the same way, you can do for heading level 2 as well, and then click on heading level 2. Okay, and if you want to make it and drag it under this, you can also do this so that it comes under the main heading level 1. Okay, and you can do the first same, just simple, just select the heading and then click on the plus icon here. That's it. Okay, so these are being selected as the main headings. So what you can do if you want to drag and drop this, so you can select this by control. So I selected 3 headings now. So I just have to drag and drop under this headings. So now we have the main heading, and we have this heading level 2, the other headings. Okay. So that's how you create bookmarks inside your document. Okay, now I can actually go to one other topic, and then we can do. I'll give you some time to make the changes. So next is alt text for figures. So alt text describes images and visuals for users who can't see them. It's not about describing what the image looks like, but rather what it means in context. For example, line graph showing sales growth over 5 years. Decorative visuals like borders or icons should be marked as decorative, so screen readers skip them. So we'll go to Acrobat setting to make these changes right now. So if we go to our document and let's go to our accessibility checker again, let's run it again. So when we run it again, so we see one issue with alt text. So just click on the down arrow and we see figure alternate text failed. When you click on it, so we have figure 1 and figure 2. So we have 2 figures now. Okay, so figure 1, it is something which is just a line which should have been marked as a decorative element, and figure 2 is the actual figure which should have been which should have added an alt text for this particular figure. So let's do these changes right now. Let's fix these 2 errors. Okay, first is right click on this particular figure and then let's go to show in tags panel. So you see it is tagged as a figure. So what you can do, you click on this particular item, the actual content of the item, and then double click. So you have to do like change tag to artifact. Okay, so change tag to artifact is option you have to change. So what you are actually doing right now, you are changing this particular tag into an artifact tag, so that screen reader might skip reading it. So it asks for some options. It doesn't matter whichever you choose. Maybe you can add as a layout top. Just do okay. So and then now our tag gets deleted, so it automatically converts into an artifact, so it doesn't show up in the tags anymore. So one other action, you have to remove this empty tag, otherwise it shows as an error. So now you converted this tag into an artifact tag. So let's go back to our error and then just double click on it and then check again. So now we see we don't have that error, so we'll fix the other figure now. Okay, so let's go to the figure 1 and double click and then show in tags panel. So we have the figure tag here. So you click on the figure tag. So now we have to add alt text for this particular figure. So how to do that? So double click on this particular figure item, image item, and then click on properties. So if you see, you don't have, it is empty here. So in this panel called alt text for images, so you should add the alt text. So I already have some alt text pre-written with me to save some time. So let me just quickly add the text. So I'll also add this in the chat for everyone who wants to add it. Okay. So let's go back to our document and then select the figure. Let's add the alt text here, which is showing map showing the boundaries of Ward 19 within the City of Toronto's 25 ward model. So let's close it and let's do Control S, and then let's go back to our accessibility checker here, double click, and then do check again. So now it's clear. So now we added the alt text for this particular document. So now it has fixed the alt text error here. Okay, let's do Control S, and that's how you do the alt text addition to a figure. Okay, um, and then we already saw the decorative elements as well. So now I'll just take a pause right now and then allow you to make the changes for your alt text and also add a couple of bookmarks to your document. Just a quick minute. In case if anybody wants me to show it again, I can do that, or just give me a thumbs up if you guys are fine with this. All right, I'll show again. So we know that this is the point where we have to make the error. So make the changes. So to do the addition, so we know this is the figure tag that has an error. So in the figure tag, double click on this particular item and then go to properties. And then in the properties window, in the tag bar, you have this option called alternative tags for images. So here you have to make sure you have alt text added to this particular place line item.
I will also say there are other ways to provide alternate text to images, and one of that is to, Ramiz, if you can show them the
Sure.
add alternate text option on the prepare for accessibility panel.
Sure.
Close that.
Yeah.
And what this does is it scans the entire document of images, and you can go one by one. There's only one image in this particular document, but if there was multiple, you can toggle between the images and add alternate text this way, or designate the image as a decorative figure.
Thank you, Gerard. If you have multiple figures, it would be more useful option. But if you have an issue at a particular image, so you can pinpoint that particular image and then look into the properties of the image to add your alt text. Okay. All right. Great. That's great. Any other questions, or I can move to the next topic?
Go ahead, Ramiz.
Okay. So next is accessible links. So for any of our links inside the document, they should have a proper link tag associated with with that particular link. Otherwise, it creates an accessibility issue. So you should always try to avoid like click here and provide some meaningful context to that particular link. So let's go to our tag tree and then fix it. So in our document, we have an example here. In page 2, you have something called the below is a link text without an actual link. This is on the second page of our document. So when we look at, let's go ahead and find this particular link. When we select this particular text, let's go ahead and then find the tag from selection. And once you do that, you should be able to see where this particular text is. So if you look at this, so this is outside of the paragraph tag, and then there is no link tag associated with it. So for now, we know that it is tagged as text but not as a link. So how you can create a link tag now? So to create a link tag, you have to go to this option called edit. So when you click on edit, so you will have a bunch of options here. So here in this you have this link option here. So when you click on this link option, you have this option called add or edit a link. Okay, so you have to click on this particular item. So when you click on it, so you'll have a place item to search for, to choose where you want to create a link. So now if I select this particular item, so I'll have a pop-up opened up, and then it shows an option to open a web page. So when I do next, so it automatically creates a link. I'll just show it again. So you have to go in the edit tab. Okay, in the edit tab, and then click on a link. Okay, in the edit, click on link, and then add or edit a link, the first option. And then once you click on it, you will have the option to choose what text you want to create a link. So you select the text, and then now it creates a link here, and then now you select next. So as soon as you do next, so if you see, you have this item called link obgr. Okay, so that's what designates the link for that particular text. So just click on www. So let's add the link, proper link. Toronto.ca, and then click OK. So now our link obgr was added. So there is one other problem here. We have to add a link tag as well. So how you can do, click on the P and then do add new tag. So this is a link tag. So let's add a link tag here. And then we have to move these two items under this link tag. Okay, and then move this link under the paragraph tag. Okay, so now we have the link tag under the paragraph. So actually it should come below this text. Okay, so first it reads the text and then now it goes to the link. Okay, so this is how you create a link tag inside a PDF document. Okay, any questions? How I can take a question? I'll give you a minute for you to do the changes, and I'll take a question. All right, and then you can close it off and then do Control S. We can also you can also check here if there is an issue. Don't see any issue here.
Hey, Ramiz. We have someone in the chat asking for you to show the link tag addition.
Okay. Okay, sure. So fine. So to the link tag, so you go to edit. Okay, you click on edit, step 1, and then click on link. Okay, so edit is step 1, and then link, and then add or edit a link. So once you click on add or edit a link, so now your cursor is being active. So for example, if you have this reading order item, you have to create a link. So you have to select that particular text, and then you have a pop-up opens like this. So I did the edit here, and then it pops up a window. So let me just do this here, and then it pops up here. So when you click on next, so it creates a window. So okay, let me just do it now, and then you have to add a URL here. So for this one, I know that it's toronto.ca toronto.ca or whatever link it might be when you do on additions, and then if you do OK. So now what I did, I created a new link here for this particular tag. Okay, it shouldn't be added here, but it should be added here. Okay, so now this was added as a link, which shouldn't be the case. So I can delete the link. Let's search for this. Okay, so any questions? So find the link tag in the tag list. Yeah, so you may not be able to find the link tag. So if you don't find it, you have to create a link tag. So go to this particular item. So you click on this, right? You go do the new tag. You have to create a new tag. Under this new tag, you might have these options, right? New tag options. So here you have to create a new tag called link, and then create a new tag, and then add this particular text and link obj under this link tag. Okay. I can show it again, like how I did it. So previously it was like this. Okay, so now you have to create a, so it was under the paragraph tag. So you may not find the link tag here. So if you don't find it, you just have to go and then create a new link tag. So to do that, select the item here, double click, and then click on new tag. And then here it's already chosen as a link tag, but if you don't find the link tag, you go ahead and then search. It's in sequence, alphabetical order. You can find the link and then press OK. So now its link tag got added. So you have to change, drag it to the top or align it, and then move these two items, this content item and the link obj under the link tab. So you just have to drag and then move it little towards right of the link tag, so that these two items fall under the main link tag. So this is how you create a link tag. Okay. Any questions or did you guys understand? Okay, great. Okay, great. So it should have created. Maybe you should go on search inside your document, inside your tag structure. At times, what happens, it may not get shown just below this particular item. It might be below this P or somewhere hidden inside your tag structure. Yeah. Okay. Or you can create it again if it doesn't get created. Uh, if it's already created in the design, if it gets showed in the Acrobat, then it's fine. If it doesn't show the link tag, then you might have to create a link tag and add the particular link and link obj inside that link tag. All right. If it's all if you are all good, I can go to the next topic. I think we just have like 5 minutes of time. So we just have two more topics. One is the list and tables. So I'll just show both the topics right now. Okay, maybe I'll just go ahead and then do the changes inside the tag tree, and then I'll let you guys do the changes as well. Okay, so list. First is the list. So list should have a sequence. Like they should have like list item, LBR and L body. So everything in the tag structure should have an order or a sequence of how it needs to be added. So when we go to our sample, so we found that in the list item, so it only shows shows one item, but on our list there are like three items here, right? 1, 2, and 3, which corresponds to 1 for apples, 2 for bananas, and 3 for oranges. But it only shows one particular line item. So let's open this up and then see what's wrong with this. So if you see, there is only one item here, but if you go up, okay, we have it tagged as paragraph here. So we just have to do drag and drop here to make sure it's under this particular tag. So we know that this should fall under L body. Okay, now we have a proper two list items. So let's change this tag to L body. So I'm doing this manually. Okay, and then I have to bring this under this, and I have to create a list item here, new tag, list item. So the idea is that you just have to have proper structure to everything. So list item should fall under the list, and this L body should be under the list item. My apologies, I might be a little quick here, but I'll just show it to you what I did right now. So in the list, so now it has three items which is selected. Initially it was under the paragraph tag. Like initially this was here. Okay, so now what I did was I did just a little bit of a drag and drop here, there was no L body item, so I created an L body item by just selecting this and then properties, and I can choose L body, list body from here. Okay, list item body from here, or what I did was I just made the edit directly here, just one click here, and then it allows me to edit. So I just made it to LBODY. Okay, and then I changed the body, the tag to L body, and then I dragged it under the list item, and then I can remove the empty tag here. So now I have the proper list tags here. So that's how we can do the list changes. Um, okay, and I can again go back to the main accessibility checker, and then I see that there is one other issue called with tables. So there is a table error. So with respect to tables, so tables should have tables generally have table rows, table headers, and table TD. So TR stands for table row, TH stands for table header cell, TD stands for table data cell. So for any table, they should always have a header cell, and which should be associated with a table data cell. Okay, imagine you have a small table, and every table should have a header. So when we go back to our example here, so we see that headers are failed, so we can go back and check why this failed. Okay, double click and let's check in show in tags panel. So when we open up the tags panel, so we see that, oh, okay, first row is which should have been a header, which should be like TH, it was tagged as TD, but these are TD cells. So we can quickly do the changes. I selected both the cells, and then instead of TD I changed it to TH and close it. So now you can see how it changed to TH. Do Control S and then go to my tag panel and then do check again. So now this has passed. Okay, so that's the idea, is that for any table it should always have a header cell which should be associated with the table cell. Okay, so that's how you fix the errors. We can go back into the pack and then again check, recheck. So how you can do, you can open up the document again here and then select the document. So it still has some errors here. So we can go ahead and then check the errors. It says all text missing for description. So we can go to that particular error here. So we can select the particular item. So this is the link that has an error. So it asks to add an alt text. So it asks to add an alt text for this image. So we can say City of Toronto homepage. Okay, and then do Control S. So now you can actually go here instead of opening up this. So you already know that this is the document. You can just click on this item called refresh. So now you see there is no error in the document, and you have all this PDF and WCAG passed. Okay, so this is the main two things that we want for any document to pass. And if you look at this quality tab, they say there is some warnings which says tag text contains only white space. You can also check this here. And if you know this errors here, it says white spaces are being tagged as well. So I know this error, this warning. Okay. So what this warning says mainly, so there is some empty space here. So if you see, this is an empty space here, which was tagged as an empty space. So what you can do, you can right click on it, change tag to artifact. Let's make that empty tag as an artifact and then delete this tag. So I know we can go back and then check where is the other error. So I see this in this particular space. Let's go back to our figure. Let's find that particular tag. Find tag from selection. Okay, on top of this.
Hey, Ramiz. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to just say that we're at time, and just before people start dropping off, I just want to thank everyone for coming.
Sure.
and we want to be respectful of everyone's time. I don't know what meetings you guys have right now, but we will be staying on to field a few more questions and kind of continue. And like I mentioned earlier, all resources will be provided to everyone, to all the participants in this meeting. So before everyone starts dropping off, I just want to say thank you for being here today, and hope you all learned something new. And we'll be sticking around for a little bit if anyone has any
Yeah.
questions, or if you have time.
Yeah, that's it. So we just have to delete the or make the empty tags to artifact. Some of you guys have joined my word session, so I removed all the empty paragraph markers, right? I had two paragraph markers in between two paragraphs. So the reason why I deleted those, I deleted those in the word is because of this reason, because empty spaces might get converted into a space tags. So it's important that you delete it in the word itself. But still, you can do the deletions here as well. So that's how you make a document compliant or pack compliant. Okay. Yeah, let's take questions. Sorry to go over little over time. I can take some questions. Yeah, if anybody wants to ask, go ahead.
Yep, we can just open the floor to questions if you want to
Yeah.
say it out loud or pop it in the chat. Just raise your hand so I can kind of unmute you.
And also, please fill out our form survey, Gerald. Like you will be sending out a feedback survey. Please add survey. Anything you want to add, we'll take it. We'll take it into consideration.
And yeah, if you don't have any questions right now, you could always email either of us, or both the digital accessibility or digital communications team. More than happy to answer there as well. I see Michael has
Michael,
his
yeah,
hand up. Let me just unmute him.
go ahead, Michael.
Thanks, gents, for the training. Just a question. If we, let's say, through run it through pack and let's say a text slash paragraph tag is incorrect. Let's say it's a figure and you
Right,
change it.
right.
You make that edit. What do you suggest to do if you go back and then run it through pack and it still says that it is tagged incorrectly?
Um,
Or like
if
it's the
it's
incorrect use of this. Like uh I've tagged an image as a figure with caption and
right.
added a caption, and then when I run it through, save it and run it through
Uh-huh.
pack, it says
Hmm.
this is the incorrect use of a figure.
Oh, that's because of the placement error. That's because of the placement error. There is one option that you have to do but to resolve that particular error. I know how to fix it. Let me just quickly show it to you. You can try this. There are a lot of ways how you fix an error. Um, so you have a figure tag, right? So let's go to our figure tag. So in the figure tag, so you select a figure tag. It might say, okay, although you have a figure tag, it might say it's a incorrect tag. So you go to properties. Okay. So you go to this option called edit attribute objects. Okay. And then you click on the edit attribute object. So you click here. Okay. Okay, let me show it again. You have this window, right? Michael,
Yeah.
you're hearing. Okay. And then you click on this edit attribute objects. Okay, and then you have this attributes object opened up. So you click on edit object attribute object one dictionary and
Hmm.
then say new item. Okay, so here in the placement you add as placement. Okay, in the value you add as block.
Right.
Okay, so what this does is there is already a placement block item. So if you don't have this, you should add like placement and block. So the reason behind this particular item is So it makes sure it is set. Like, in the word, if a figure is not tagged as inline with text, so it acts as a floating image, right? You can move the image here and there if it's in not in inline. So this
Hmm.
placement block is like, it places the figure to that particular exact location, so you cannot move it. Okay, so you just try to add this key and value in the figure, and then try to run it in pack. Save it and then run it in pack and see.
Right. And when I've gone into those that attribute objects
Uh,
path, it's shown nothing. Like it doesn't show /b box array /
okay.
layout. It's completely empty.
But generally for any figure, it should have this one.
So can I can manually add those in and it would fix the error?
It should fix. So this placement and block should fix your figure tag error. If it still says it's not tagged, it's tagged incorrectly, so this might solve it. We can take
Perfect.
it case by case. Yeah. If it
And
doesn't
that would
solve,
that also fix a bounding box error as well for the figure, or is that a whole other?
or that might be whole other, I guess. So everything might be different, but we can take it case by case.
Hmm. Yeah, we're kind of just showing you how to do certain things in Acrobat, but there is still a level of troubleshooting
Yeah.
required, which is why I recommend using Pack and finding the errors that way, specifically using Tag PDF and the Accessibility Guide YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Specifically with the bounding box errors, I've come into that quite a bit. And what Remy shows you is kind of the area where you fix it. I can't remember the exact fix. Um, but if you are able to, if you do have that error and you can't find it in Pack, um, just check the tag PDF page, and that's showing me how to fix that particular bounding box error a few times.
Sure. Joshua has a question. Can you show us again how to tag a blank space as an artifact? So I can show that to you, Joshua. Um, So this one is a fixed document. So let me open up unfixed document for you. So okay, this is an unfixed document. So let me open up this document. Okay. So here, if I have the tax panel here, so I know the location of the uh, tag. So just right above the figure tag, we have the p tag, right? So how you can change this to delete this particular? So simple. I'm just trying to change this empty tag into an artifact, right? Making so that it skips the screen reader. So double click on this particular item. So you select this particular here, this item here, and then double click, and then you select this option called change tag to artifact. Just click on it. It doesn't matter what you select here. Anyway, it will make it as an artifact. Click OK. So now this particular tag is being removed automatically or made it into artifact. And since you have this empty tag here, you just delete the empty tag. That's it. Okay, you just have to change that tag to artifact and then delete it. I know there is one other item. Let me just show it to you again. Okay, there is also one more here, empty space, right? So you open up this. So you see it's an empty tag. Okay, just double click on it and then change tag to artifact and then click OK. So now we converted this empty tag into an artifact, and then we have an empty tag here. So you just have to delete this particular tag. That's it. So that should remove your make the tag make the empty tag into an artifact and make your document more accessible. That's okay. You can ask me, Michael.
Thanks. The other problem I've run into is uh, I have a clear table and it's coming from Word. It's 100% accessible, and then when I've made it transferred it to PDF, the entire table doesn't get tagged. So let's say, for example, you
Hmm,
you try and tag the entire table, and like three of the cells aren't tagging.
right. Yes. Yeah. It might happen at times because of some reason for sure. Uh, okay, so how you can tag a document? So for example, we have a table, right? So let me just go to our table. So this is the table. So when you go for prepare for accessibility here, So you have this fixed reading order here. You click on it,
Hmm.
okay, and then you have a pop-up opened up like this, right? Reading order, okay. So when you click on this table, let's click one item here, and then you have this option called table editor, right? So here you can make the changes by selecting your text, or there is one other item is instead of editing this table, let's close this. For example, imagine this is not selected. So what you have to do, you have to create a new tag. Okay. So fix reading order again. Uh, you have to for example, if this is not selected, let's select this particular item, and then you can create a cell here. If you create a cell here, this will automatically create the table cell, and then you can drag and drop within the table structure to add a new cell, to add that particular untagged cell inside the table.
That's a good fix. Thank you very much.
No problem. I can take more questions. Is it okay to delete paths? You might have to make it an artifact instead of deleting it. So if you delete the path tags, again, it might say some tagged content is being removed, or it might create an error. So best idea is to convert the paths into artifacts. Yeah, so you just have to convert them. This is correct, Gerald. But you can delete the empty tags. Once you convert it, it will get removed from the tag tree. So that you have to just go ahead, Matthew.
I think I might have to unmute him.
Unmute.
Matthew, can you raise your hand up again?
Uh,
Here, I got it.
I did.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey there, thanks a lot, appreciate it. I had a quick
problem.
question about reading order and path tags. I noticed sometimes when you're moving things around in the reading order, um, if you don't move the path tag with the item you're moving, it'll become invisible. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it almost will be like it vanishes. Then you have to go back, grab the path tag, and find out where it went. Like if you're not paying attention, it can mess things up.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is the path, what's the function of a path tag? Do you know?
Yeah, so path tag is just the line. For example, you have the table, right? So you have the table and you have the content inside the table. So the table, that particular table lines are the paths. So which might be artifacted while conversion. So that's the function. So there is no other big function with the paths at all. So just that that particular structure is being converted into paths. So you just have to make it an artifact so that the screen reader understands that it's just you can just skip it and then go to the actual text that needs to be read out.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
perfect, thank you.
no problem.
Yeah, I will add that like path tags are typically visual or non-text elements, although sometimes path tags can be links, and because they are an element, they need to be tagged, and that's why it's also important to make them into artifacts so that the element still remains tagged, but also doesn't necessarily create some sort of error when they're not when they're being accounted as like a figure or a text.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, next time I try it, I'll try artifacting. I've tried deleting them before, and usually it doesn't work well. It'll mess things up. So
Got it.
I'll try artifacting them.
Yeah, that's the way.
Okay. We're still available. So if anyone else has any questions, raise your hand, pop in the chat. More than happy to answer. Otherwise, we could also end the session and have you go on with your day.
Yeah.
So going once, going twice. And then, of course, you can always ask us questions outside of this
Yeah.
meeting as well. So we're
So one
we're gonna
last question.
circulate it later today. I just gotta gather some of the links and mainly just upload this recording onto my division SharePoint, and then once I have that, we'll go ahead and circulate that. And I will also say that at the end of the week, or at the end of this week, or the beginning of next week, that these videos will be widely available on the internet as well, specifically on the digital accessibility page.
No problem at all, Kim.
Yeah. Remediating PDFs is definitely an adventure.
Yeah. But we got this.
Yeah, exactly. The idea is to show you that, like you can do this. It's
Yes,
not super easy, but it's possible.
possible.
No
Yeah.
chance of a city contract for someone that can do it for us?
No, we do have. We do have.
Yeah, so I never got to it, but we are in the middle of procuring a PDF remediation vendor for those
Yes.
for those divisions who don't have the time and resources to remediate PDFs. Of course, it's a paid service,
Yeah.
but we're in the middle of procuring that right now, and hopefully it'll be ready either in Q1 or Q2 next year.
Yeah.
Um, and also, we're trying, or at least we are recommending, a document accessibility expert on the digital accessibility team. As it stands right now, a lot of the resources, the human resources in digital accessibility, are there mainly for web or app accessibility. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, seems like people are dropping off, so
Yeah.
I guess I can just go ahead and end this meeting. Thank you, everyone, and
Thank you all.
hope you have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.